Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you who are joining us here for the 16th annual Trialogue Business and Society Conference. Really privileged to be privy to the conversations that will help close the gaps where government is unable to, where society is unable to, and that's where social responsibility comes in.
At Trialogue, our vision is to foster responsible business leadership that benefits all stakeholders. And that's why this conference is so important to us.
Real change in society happens when ordinary people choose to do extraordinary things. We have to make a conscious choice as professionals, as business people, that we are not going to outsource that problem. We're not going to relinquish our democratic rights and our active citizenry. We're going to get involved.
The important things for us is that we've realized, like many people, that the real enemy when it comes to gender-based violence is silence. Because silence enables the perpetrators of gender-based violence to continue unabated.
Private sector, public sector, civil society organizations. As a people, we share the belief that there can be no gender equality until women and girls are safe and their rights upheld.
When we adopted the gender-based violence ecosystem as Vodacom, it was deliberate to demonstrate the interrelatedness of prevention, response, and victim support, with more focus on prevention.
And we know at the school system, teachers are an incredible resource. But at the same time, we know our teachers are burnt out, they're traumatized themselves. So part of this program was seeing schools as a system, not just with learners, but how do we engage with teachers, not to give them additional content, but to say to them, how are you coping? How can we help you?
We've created this environment whereby it's easy for learners to come and report whatsoever is taking place in the home, or it can be in the school.
The green economy is a realization where economic growth and sustainability go hand in hand. So when we started this journey in Nedbank, we quickly made the realization that we cannot talk about saving the planet whilst there are millions of South Africans living under the poverty line.
The green economy is not a part of the economy. The green economy is all of it. The green economy is about improved human well-being over the long term, while not exposing future generations to significant environmental risks from a climate perspective or ecological scarcities from a nature perspective.
For me, I see there are two key opportunities for the transition in the green economy. One is that we have a youth dividend. You know, young people, energetic people who are unfortunately not provided with the opportunities they require.
There's a skill gap, and like he mentioned, we import skills because we don't have enough skills here. And we saw that as an opportunity.
I think it's quite important to understand what you're doing, what is your intent, you know, what are you seeking to solve?
We need to start moving from trying to develop sectors and drips and drabs. And of course, those policies are important, but to put them in a much more comprehensive systemic change in terms of our finance system, our policy systems, all our instruments.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready to kick off day 2 of the 16th annual Business and Society Conference.
We think that strategic CSI can actually support a bigger shared value agenda within the company. And we all spoke about the role of business and society. CSI is the one function of all the different activities that a company undertakes. It's the one aspect that looks outside of the corporate value chain.
There's a requirement for those listed entities or the providers of capital use ESG to judge, is this the kind of company that I'd like to put my money in because it's going to be sustainable into the future. And one of the ways in which they judge this is how well do you score within that social element of the ESG.
It is clear that Africa is rich in resources and potential. Among the numerous challenges in its path towards development is a lack of quality education and effective leadership.
So constantly our refrain is to remain teachable, to be open to learning, and to be open to being astonished, to be open to being surprised, particularly by the talents, the creativity, the inspiration that lies within each and every single one of our learners.
So I know with the ESG requirements, we're really responding to the Sustainable Development Goals. And at the heart of that for an education intervention is quality education. But sitting around that, you also have to look at, we need decent work. So how is that education leading into decent work?
Shafika spoke briefly about a holistic approach. It puts the learner as our unit of change.
You cannot come with a new thing when kids are hungry and they don't understand why you are there in the first place, because they are hungry.
What is it that parents should do to correctly support learners without undoing what teachers are doing in class?
Businesses can no longer see the intervention that they want to make as a feel-good project or at best case a marketing project. It has to actually make an impact on their business.
Social plan activities for working communities that could lose their jobs, it's expected to be closer to 28,000. It is a substantial number of people. Very unlikely that anything that gets created now will be commensurate to those. So those people will need social plan support, and new jobs will need to be created for other people or even them.
Business is not independent and isolated only in the value chains where we do business, an interdependent ecosystem. And the socio-economic investments that we make as corporation are a critical lever to respond to the challenges this country has at this particular moment.
All businesses can do things around energy efficiency, but I think also it's around looking at their business models and being very deliberate about how you integrate the energy transition into the business model. It's not an add-on.
Inequality in South Africa is a major problem, and the only way we solve that problem is transferring wealth to the poor, because the access to capital and ownership of capital is the primary driver of inequality.
Tell us how to build strong communities like gemstones forged under extreme pressure. Tell us what we have forgotten. We are not afraid of bones. Tell us what we have lost. We are not afraid of remembering. Tell us what has been erased. We are not afraid of time. Tell us who we once were. We are not afraid of ourselves.